Hi everybody. Let's start working on Jessie's journaling with thread book. I found this little bit of gold thread and I've put it here just to remind me that it's a possibility to use. I've tucked in my little red work things here for now, but I've started to put in some bits of thread. And what else have I done? Not a real lot, honestly. I finished the couching around this circle and I've started to, which is what I'm going to work on now. This was the little thank you gift panel, so I've had a go at stitching that. Put in a bit of an old, this was an old shirt, so it's got the very fine little hem of the shirt on the back, and I've put on an antique Suffolk puff. So I've stitched it together with a bit of beautiful wool from the sewing basket, and I have started to stitch around this antique Suffolk puff, and I've stitched a bit of beautiful ribbon underneath it, and I've just now at the point where I want to put on a button. Now, a lot of my buttons are here, there and everywhere, but I do have this at hand, and I was just having a think about whether it's too small whether a yellow button is not appropriate or if it's going to be all right. I think every colour is appropriate if you can manage to match the tone with its surroundings. Maybe. I'll just leave that there as forward. I get a few different sort of, that's way too big and bulky, and I think because that's really big and bulky, it kind of detracts. This is actually a bit delicate. That's interesting. But oh no, let's put those in the no pile. This beautiful button I got the other day is way too big. And this one, I just love it. Maybe that's actually, that's a good one to use. I don't know. Is it? It just reminds me of a lolly. Like, I love it. I actually really like that. I wasn't expecting that. Oh, the world is full of happy accidents. There's another little... No, they're a bit twee, but that actually makes me happy. Twee, is that an Australian word? Oh, it's an English word. No. If I'm going for a yellow, I think it has to be a bit more sedate. Oh, that's perfect, honestly. I might have bought this whole bag just for that. Now, let's see if this goes through. Yes, it does. I think probably would be in my best interest to double the thread for this, because that's quite a heavy, I probably should use a heavy weight. You know what I'm going to, I'll get it down first. It is quite heavy. I might secure it with something a little stronger. Oh, this reminds me of a clown. Crazy clown, which is funny because everyone's having their Halloweens. So Nora asked me why I don't celebrate Halloween, and I said because in Australia, because Halloween to me is a celebration of like the Day of the Dead, things like that. She might knock on the door, she just came home. But we're in the southern hemisphere, so it's very, it's spring, and it just doesn't, it does not compute. What about a bit of that? I'm not sure if I can get it through a needle. Yeah, so we're in spring, so it's the opposite to Halloween. It's not a Day of the Dead. It's about life and growth and, you know, all of that. Oh no, that won't work. Let me see. So it doesn't make sense to me to celebrate an autumnal festival when we're in spring. I think I would, I'm actually even thinking if I manage, I think, you know, I should try. If I try to get to America next year, I might try and go for Halloween just to experience it and to not experience those super hot, heated, super hot days that one will have. If it's the middle of, what do you call it, the middle of summer. If I go in autumn, it might be a bit more tolerable in Arizona. All right, let's see if this is a little bit more secure for this heavy duty button. Oh, I love it. Yes, it's like a head on a little frilly neck piece. So sorry anyone who's a bit squeamish about clowns and Halloween. It's funny. I'm reminded of it because I watch a YouTuber called Trent the Traveller, just travelling around in his van. But he was he actually did work on a lot of movies as a filmmaker, and I love it because he totally geeked out. So he went to actually Halloween Town, where the movie Halloween was filmed, and he just totally geeked out because Twilight was also filmed there, and he did all these things like walking on the beach where, you know, the Twilight cast, Bella and Jacob, had a conversation on this particular beach, and he was just totally geeking out on the whole thing, you know, this was filmed here, that's amazing, you know, that sort of a thing, which I would have probably done too. Anyway, he did a walkthrough with his camera in the haunted house. And I do not like haunted houses and all of. I don't like scary movies. I don't like haunted houses. I particularly do not like jump scares. And but watching him film jump scares and stuff is actually quite funny because he does the jump scare for you because he's watching it but you're not. So it's hilarious. Anyway, that made me think maybe next year I should go that kind of time of year, like to Arizona. I know Ariane said, oh, come over for the textile exhibition, but that's September, that's the height of summer, and that's also 45-degree days in Arizona, so I don't know that I'm up for that. Now, I think it's a bit heavy. I'm thinking it's at risk of this flopping over like that, so I think, where's my original, get a bit of this stuff. I'd still like to go to New York, and as in the last video where I was talking about house swapping, it might be good to stay in New York and have a little bit of a, you know, free home base rather than pay those exorbitant costs, and then pop over to Arizona. Visit Seattle, all that. Maybe I'll just do one little, like a little invisible stitch or two around on this side just to anchor it. Anchor it down a bit. Right, that makes sense. Just so it doesn't sort of flop over so much, because when I stitch on the other one of these on this side, they'll be tied in a bow rather than a wrap. It's not a wrap. So I think I'm happy with this. Yeah, I love that button. It's top heavy though. It is a bit heavy. Okay, I'm gonna probably need to do that side too. Okay. Trying to do it so there's nothing showing on the back here. That's a bit better. Just a bit more secure. But I also like how this is poking out. Love that. Oh, Nora's got a cough. Okay. So I've still got to get this on here, but I'm not sure how. That's where it's going to go. I might pin it. I'm just not sure if I'm putting something on the back cover that might cover over it. So that's ready. This, I think, is something. So this is the front. This is something I might do as a dingle dangle, or inside even. So that doesn't need to be used yet. Got that gold thread. I don't know if this is all Appleton's, if I just got this from the sewing basket and it was already doubled up, but I like using it as a single thread. So I don't know if that's actually how they all are. But here we go. A bit of this. I think this time maybe I will get to do a bit of this behind the scenes and bring it back a bit more finished rather than kind of going very slowly. I suppose that doesn't matter too much, going slowly. Now, no, I'm going to go around this circle. It's getting a bit noisy out there. I might have to pause and come back. Nora comes home and makes her lunch. I think I'll go around this because I was just thinking I might like that bow to be material. So I'm going to go around this one. I'll be back in a sec. Okay, I'm back. So I have finished the blue stitching in the circle. I've put a clear button that matches, or is as close. I wanted a more transparent kind of button to match that button. I've cut out from an old sheet the bow. I'll probably do some embellishments on that. This is heat set pen, so I'll be able to iron it, and those lines will disappear. I've done the needles, pins, the needle and the pins, and I have drawn up a little Journal of Thread 2024, and I did it on the same material as that, like a little patch over the top. I think I'm going to leave this a bit more organic here than cut in for the pin to show, so I'll probably overstitch that. And at the moment I am just stitching around. So this is also the friction pen, and I just put a little bit of glue stick down under this bit of material and these bits of material just to hold it in place while I stitched. And then this will be ready, although I am thinking of doing some design on the bow, like I wouldn't mind some little dots or something like that, like polka dots. This was all stem stitch for the pins and the needle. It's come out a little bit loose, but what I did was 2 lots of daisy. So I did daisy chain filled in the middle, daisy chain filled in the middle for the tops of the pins. Quite like it. Really, really enjoying this project. It's wonderful. So I'm just doing a little back stitch for these. Just keeping it nice and simple. Just one thread of the Appletons. So I've used quite a bit of the Appletons on a lot of this. I think it'll be featuring quite a bit, mainly because the colours of this beautiful blue and this pinky colour I really love. I've also got this out, which is something else I'll embellish, but I think that I haven't yet drawn up my little red work pieces, and they don't have to be on this actual bit of material because this material is going to be, I'll be cutting around and needle appliquing through the whole thing. I'm actually thinking that even though these have got a bit of batting in between, I still might actually cut a bit of batting for this and put that behind it, because I think I'd like it, you know, I actually would like it to be a bit puffy. I think Jessie's might have been. I haven't got up to looking at the page so far. Kind of gone ahead with just allowing my own muse to come in and work through this. So I'm just noticing this sticking up. So as I did a running stitch all the way around that edge, I will probably do a running stitch all the way around the edge to keep this bit of material a bit more. I mean, I'm stitching through the top and the back, but I probably will do that to cement it a bit better, just to not have flippy floppy bits. So here we are. More to do on this front cover, but at least the book is ready to go, except for this one tag at the back. And thank you for being here. Let's see what else we get up to with this in the future. Thank you for being here, and I will see you in the next one. Bye for now.